Ed Boon. Yeah, Ed Boon. You promised me that's the problem. You promised me that Mortal Kombat 1 would be for the long haul. You said support it for years to come. Ed Boon, why did you play me, fam? Freedom, God. Yeah, so, we got a bit of a situation. What's going on, people? It's your boy, Clutch Chaos, and welcome back to the channel. And we got some shockingly but predictable news. Mortal Kombat 1 has decided to throw in the white flag. They decided to throw in the white flag and pretty much say adios to Mortal Kombat 1. Now, there hasn't been any full confirmation, right? There hasn't been a statement by Ed Boon or the NRS team, but we could put two and two together. Whenever Mortal Kombat decides to come out with a complete edition, XL, Ultimate, or in this case, a definitive edition, that means that Mortal Kombat maybe has like a month left of a big patch update, and then it's adios, on to the next game. How do I feel about it? I'm disappointed. It sucks. But I mean, what are you gonna do? For anybody that has not purchased Mortal Kombat 1, you can get the definitive edition for $70, and you basically get the Chaos Reigns, you get every single DLC character, you get every single costume, including the movie costumes, everything that you want in this game, you can have it for $70 more. It did say something about an upgrade. If people wanted to upgrade to the definitive edition, is like another $50. Yeah, you're bugging. I mean, listen, if you have owned Mortal Kombat 1 up until this point, and you still need to rely on this upgrade, you need to stop right now and stop wasting your bread. Don't even think about it. Once again, it almost feels like we were lied to. You know, Ed Boon, and I don't want to put the whole blame on Ed Boon and the NRS team, because they are under WB. No matter how you guys put it, you guys can sit here and say, oh, well, Ed Boon, he should have some power. You know, he's the creator of Mortal Kombat. He has some say. Unfortunately, he doesn't. Even though he's the creator of Mortal Kombat, he does not own Mortal Kombat. And that's the most frustrating part, to put it, is that even something you created, it was bought by WB. You have no power. It's up to WB to greenlight some of the shit that people just don't like about the game. From a gameplay standpoint, from the lack of content, you could put a little bit of blame on Ed Boon and, of course, the NRS team. I'm just very disappointed that we're just not gonna be able to see Mortal Kombat 1 in its entirety. We're not gonna see what they could have offered us, because they're pretty much pulling the plug. Like, we're not gonna be able to see a glimpse of Combat Pack 3. Apparently, there was another DLC expansion. We're not gonna be able to see that. So that cliffhanger for Chaos Reigns that a lot of people don't seem to like, now we're never gonna be able to see it. So now all we have to show for is that Chaos Reigns cliffhanger, and it's a pretty confusing cliffhanger because it just leaves us with more questions than answers. With this video, I'm pretty much just gonna provide a pros and cons situation of Mortal Kombat 1, because I do think that Mortal Kombat 1 gets dragged under the mud religiously, because obviously people just don't like the game. But what really bothers me is that these same people that talk a lot of stuff about Mortal Kombat 1, y'all was not feeling MK11. Like, listen, I don't like MK11, but I wasn't the one on Twitter talking ridiculously amount of crap about the game. I still enjoy Mortal Kombat 11. I think Mortal Kombat 11 has the most content to offer. It's one of the coolest games. I don't particularly like the roster. I don't particularly like the gear system and all these different color palettes. I like some of these costumes, they look fire. It has an amazing story, but I mean, it wasn't the best Mortal Kombat game. Even though it was the highest selling MK game, right? It's on there for being the most high selling. But I mean, listen, it was marketed well. It was received well. There wasn't really that much pushback. The gameplay is just something that I just don't like. But I'm not gonna sit here and go on Twitter and just berate it and talk a lot of smack about it. So I wrote a list down on my phone. I'm not gonna remember everything, so I'm gonna keep looking at this shit. Frida, guys. We're gonna start with what I did not like about Mortal Kombat 1. These are the cons. Not enough content. Not enough content whatsoever. This is a very bare bones Mortal Kombat game. You know, you have your traditional towers, your arcade towers, your endings, you have your versus mode, you have your online mode, and you have your customization. There's no tag team mode, there's no 1v1 mode, there's no game modes for, you know, test your might, test your sight, all this stuff. These are little mini games that people really don't care about, me included, but the fact that you don't even have that in there, it just says a lot, you know? You have your tutorial mode for your guides and your combo trials and all that. You have a shitty shrine mode that basically, it's pointless to buy stuff from there. It literally gives you bullshit palette colors, calling cards, emblems. Who cares? I'm one of those people with fighting games that I love the traditional fighting game. I love that they used to have multiple game modes. You had a nice story mode, you played through it, you unlock characters, you have a good time. But now in today's space, it's all about just being competitive. It's all about just going straight to online. And honestly, sometimes that can get a little boring. And the offline modes to Mortal Kombat 1, they just don't hit the same like in Mortal Kombat 11. There's no crypt mode. The customizations for Mortal Kombat 1 are atrocious. I mean, and I'm talking strictly just gear pieces. I've had my thoughts about gear pieces since Injustice 2. I don't mind obvious gear pieces, right? Like, obviously, for the Mortal Kombat ninjas, your mask is your gear piece. For Baraka, your gear piece is your blades. For Jax, it's your metal arms. For Johnny Cage, it's the sunglasses. For Raiden, it's his hat. Kung Lao, vice versa, is the hat, right? I don't understand why we're focusing on Melina's size. Like why?
Am I even saying that right? Size? I don't even know.
Why are we focusing on Melina's size? Why are we focusing on Katana's fans? Why are we focusing on Gearus's fucking heart chest plate? Why? I don't care about that. Like I don't get it. Like, I just feel like they put so much emphasis on these gear pieces that are just meaningless. Like for Liu Kang, you have these wrist guards. That's fine. I'm not upset at that. But if I had to nitpick, I would rather Liu Kang's pants be a gear piece. Have different designs, have different color designs for his pants. Maybe it's a dragon, maybe it's a Mortal Kombat symbol, maybe it's actually Liu Kang like this or some shit. We don't freaking know. Bro, I don't care about Kenchi's sword. Sindel's fucking like face guard armor, like bro, she has such a beautiful face. Why are we covering it up? Frida gods. You know, for Shang Tsung is these damn wrist blades. Like, what are we doing? I hate the gear piece system. I wish that for in future games, they don't go back to it. If you're gonna give us different gears and different masks, make it a whole new costume. Do something different, but these gear pieces gotta go for me. So many different color palettes of the same costume, gotta go. I'm sorry, there's just so many costume color palettes. Like, there's like about a good 16 to 17 versions that we can just pack up. We don't need to see that many colors, and it's pretty much the same colors. It could be like a blue white, and then the next one it's a white blue. It's like, why do we care about this? I don't know. The DLC content for Mortal Kombat 1 has been a hit or miss for me. I love Noob Saibot, Takeda, Cyrex Sector. I love who else was in the first one? Quan Chi. I felt like the DLC for this game was very centered around guest characters. Man, we need to stop with the guest characters, man. We need to stop with the guest characters. The reason why guest characters work for games like Tekken, it works for games like Street Fighter, we don't see them that often. Okay, we don't see guest characters in Tekken that often. So when we see it, we are excited. For Mortal Kombat, we get a guest character every couple months. I don't care about Omni-Man. I'm sorry. I don't care for Homelander. I don't particularly give a shit about Conan and T-1000, even though the gameplay is excellent. Ghostface is a different story. I will make an exception on Ghostface. I love horror movie characters being in a Mortal Kombat setting. That's cool. But RoboCop, Rambo, get the fuck out of here, yo. Bayasin! Mortal Kombat 1 is not doing so good. They're pulling the plug. So now we're not even going to be able to see a Combat Pack 3 with more potential Mortal Kombat characters. Well, I wouldn't be that mad if we would have swapped out the guest characters, which is about a good, let's see, you got Ghostface, which I'll keep. You got T-1000, Conan, Peacemaker, Homelander. Omni-Man, right? That's 5? Hold up, let me do it again. Omni-Man, Homelander, Peacemaker, Omni-Man, Homelander, Peacemaker, T-1000, Conan. That's 5! That's 5 guest characters, bro! We could pack all them up and give us 5 Mortal Kombat characters. And I promise you, the majority of this fan base, of this community, would not be this pissed off with the white flag being thrown. If you were to replace those 5 guests with 5 Mortal Kombat characters, particularly ones that we haven't seen in a minute, and actually like fit to the story of this game, yeah, we would have a different conversation, right? I think we really would. Not to say, listen, once again, I think Conan and I think T-1000, I think those are good characters. They play well. But over Jade, over Scarlet, over 3D era characters like Drummond, potentially Hotaru, you know, Taven, Dagon, fucking Serena. How many times have people wanted Serena? Darius. Like, there's so many other routes they could have took, and it's like, you decided to go with Homelander, Peacemaker, fucking Omni-Man. I get it. Stop it, though. Because you're showing your true colors, WB. You're showing us that this game is not capable of surviving on its own, so you're gonna throw in these fucking heroic ass, wannabe ass Supermen into the game, so then that way people can buy it. That's trash. I'm sorry. That's good marketing. That's great promo. But as a fighting game Mortal Kombat fan, that's garbage. Freedom, guys! There was a good like month and a half, probably about a good 2 months, where Mortal Kombat 1 was having so many desynced issues where your online was just disconnecting randomly. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there wasn't even crossplay for the first like 8 to 9 months of this game being launched. I don't particularly care about crossplay. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. That is definitely a main reason that a lot of people didn't like this game that much. I think I covered all the BS about this game. Now let's talk about what I really loved about Mortal Kombat 1, because I still think Mortal Kombat 1 is a way funner game than MK11. I love this game. I love to play it. I actually have fun playing it. We're gonna start it off with the roster. I think this is one of the best rosters that we had since MK9. You have all the ninjas. You have some of the more iconic 3D era characters in the DLC, like Cyrex and Sector coming back, you know, giving us Tanya, giving us Li Mei, giving us Kenshi, Baraka, giving us all the ninjas. Like I said, bro, every ninja's in this game, even in cameo form with Tremor. That was sick. This is probably the best roster that we probably got since MK9. Mortal Kombat 1, in terms of the color, in terms of how bright it is, I love that. I actually love the colors. I love that it's bright. I love that it's vibrant. Mortal Kombat 9 was probably the last time we ever saw a colorful Mortal Kombat game. Then you got like that depressing dark MKX. Then it followed through with Mortal Kombat 11 being very dark and gloomy. And I just didn't like that particularly. It was like a dirty color. Like Scorpion had like a dirty yellow to it, where in this game, it's a bright yellow. It's actually nice. I really enjoyed the music of this game. I thought that the music really fit well with the environment. It fit well with the story. It actually was Mortal Kombat. It felt good listening to some dope-ass music while you fight. The stages were pretty cool. I really enjoyed the stages. What I absolutely loved about Mortal Kombat 1 as well was the inclusion of a secret fight in Floyd. For a good month and some change, when Floyd was released as a secret fight, Mortal Kombat 1 was at the top of the food chain for best fighting game. There was a good month and a half where Mortal Kombat 1 was being streamed. It was the top fighting game being streamed and played. Everybody was trying to find Floyd, including myself, grinding, going on Twitter, talking to the community, looking at other communities, trying to figure out what the secret missions are. You know, even the Tiny creating a website where you can actually, you know, have statistics of where you are in your search for Floyd. That was some of the most funnest times to play Mortal Kombat 1. And, you know, I wish they would have done that sooner, because we probably could have got a lot more out of it for real. Another thing that I loved about Mortal Kombat 1 was the gameplay. I love the gameplay of this game. I love that it's somewhat combo heavy. Even though the combos are OD long, I just love the fact that even though you get past them shitty inputs, some of the combos are a little bit easy to do. I like that. I like the creativity with the cameos, and I will touch on the cameos in a little bit. But I love the fact that you can have different combination combos depending on what cameo you use. And then I want to touch on online as well. Mortal Kombat 1 is one of the few online games that I actually participate and actually had a good ass time playing it. Now, I rage the majority of the time, but you know, I'm gonna rage on everything. When I'm losing a lot, I'm gonna talk shit and get mad. I didn't play online in MK11. I didn't play online in MKX. I played a little bit in MK9, but I played a hell of a lot in MK1. And then the last thing I want to touch on is the story, man. I actually enjoyed Mortal Kombat 1's story. Up until a certain point, I thought that this story was really, really good, especially with the new era, all these characters getting new origin stories, yet they still keep a little bit of their origin alive, but it's like new twists and turns. I like that. I love the fact that we got some of our iconic characters that are usually just henchmen. They're usually just getting their ass beat in every game, like Melina, Reptile, Baraka. They got some shine in this game, and I absolutely loved it. I love that we were able to have certain cameos exclusive for story mode. I thought that was cool to fit with the story dynamic of the game. I love the reference to the old school Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon games. This felt like a love letter to the 3D era, and I actually enjoyed the story a lot, even in Chaos Reigns. Say what you want about Chaos Reigns, but I loved Havoc as a villain. I still think he's like arguably top 2, top 3 best villains in Mortal Kombat. I just wish that Chaos Reigns would have did a little bit better sales-wise, so then we can see the conclusion of this damn story. Doesn't look like we're gonna see it though. Now, I left off 2 very important things about this game that a lot of people seem to not really like. It's a little bit of a balanced scaling. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm one of the few that likes it, but I can see people and understand why they don't like it. I'm talking about cameos and invasions mode. So the cameo system was interesting. It was the first time Mortal Kombat ever tried to do some shit like that. They also did it in Mortal Kombat 11, but not to the degree that they did it in MK1. They decided to have different types of movesets for the cameos. You have your ambush assist, which basically you can move around and fight as your cameo is on screen. And then you have your standstill posing cameo moves where your character goes to the side, like he'll just be like this or some shit, and then the cameo does some extravagant move, and you basically can't move until that cameo gets the fuck up out of here. I understand why people don't like that. The whole idea of Mortal Kombat being an assist game was a lot of people was comparing it to Marvel vs. Capcom. They do it the best. It's a very chaotic fighting game, it's very fast paced, but it's fun as hell. And I think with Mortal Kombat 1, you have that sense of the game being fast-paced, but at the same time, bro, when you add these cameos and they do these little poses and shit, it slows the fighting down to a nice, good amount degree. And a lot of people don't like that. I particularly don't care because I'm not one of those fighting game people that are paying attention to frame data, plus block minuses. I don't really care about the speed of a character's movement. I'm not focused on that. I'm not sitting here studying in that. I'm just jumping on an online game and I want to fight, and if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, when Ermac does his 2-3 or his 4-2-4, I know I can just counter that. I'm not that person. As much as I want to be, because when I watch other people play and they talk like that, oh man, it definitely motivates me. I definitely want to act like that and I want to study that, but I'm just not that guy, bro. I just want to hop on a fighting game and play. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh man, he kept catching me with the 2-4, so I got to counter that with a 3-5. There's not even a 5! What are we doing, fam? The one thing I will change about cameos, right? If Mortal Kombat or Injustice, whatever they do in the future, if they decide to bring this shit back, keep it strictly ambush moves. Just let us freely move around while the cameo's on screen. So then that way it can be a fast-paced game. Yes. Will it be chaotic? Will it be confusing? Yes. But I think Mortal Kombat needs some fast-paced chaotic fighting. I really do think it needs it. Because a lot of people love Mortal Kombat X. The main reason why they love Mortal Kombat X is because how fast the fighting is. You can run in that game. The way you're moving in that game is really quick, and it's simple, and it's easy money. I love the concept. I love the idea of bringing old school characters that might not ever make it into a base roster, making them cameo fighters. I don't really like the posing. The posing works for certain characters like Serena, like Cyrex. Ambush assists are the move. It's a more smoother process with ambush assists. And the last thing we'll touch on is invasions mode. A lot of people do not like invasions mode, and I understand why. It's literally just a bare bones wannabe conquest mode. It's like a board game type of Super Mario type of thing. The fights are meaningless. There's no stakes to these fights other than the boss fights. I will say the boss fights did get better. There's no real stakes. There's no reward. The story is not really driven in invasions for me. With the whole multiverse stuff, it's really just different versions of characters coming into our world. We have to stop them. That's the whole point of it. I do love invasions mode for this thing though, because you get a lot of XP. Mortal Kombat 1 has a mastery system where you can master all the characters' levels. I'm still trying to do that. I'm not paying for masteries. That's not what I'm doing. So I'm gonna grind out invasions mode and play this. That's fun for me to master all these characters' levels. Towers of Time shit as well. I forgot to mention Towers of Time. But even the Towers of Time is not the same. It's just a bunch of meaningless towers that you don't even unlock gears or costumes. Unless you make it to the top 5%, top 10%, then you get a palette, costume, color, or a gear piece. But that's neither here nor there. But the invasions mode is okay. I mean, should they bring this back? I don't really care if they bring it back or not. It's the only thing that you can really play if you don't want to play online. If you don't want to touch online mode, you got Towers of Time and you got invasions mode. I'm sad that Mortal Kombat 1 it's looking like it's the end, but I'm excited because now NRS can start to work on a brand new project. Whether it's Injustice 3, whether it's Mortal Kombat 2, whether it's a spin-off of Mortal Kombat, to be honest, if I can just fantasize real quick, instead of doing a spin-off, instead of doing a new Mortal Kombat, instead of doing a new Injustice, I would want them to remaster a Mortal Kombat game. Whether they want to remaster Deadly Alliance, Deception, or Shaolin Monks or Armageddon. I think Armageddon is too much. If they can remaster and re-release for the Series X, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch 2, if they could re-release Deception or Deadly Alliance or Shaolin Monks, that honestly would make a lot of people in the community happy, including me. And I think that it will give us a break from what to expect new from Mortal Kombat, give fans a chance to go back. Because, I mean, listen, we can go back and play the PS2 versions. We could play the GameCube versions. You know, not a lot of people have GameCube. Not a lot of people have a PS2. And these games are kind of expensive for those consoles. If they can re-release one of those 3D era games and do some enhancements, do some new graphics, maybe add some new characters into it, maybe add a little bit more variety to the game, that would be dope. They can finally add a good online mode to those games. I think we have something good in our hands, right? Like, honestly, I would follow the footsteps of Virtual Fighter, right? Virtual Fighter has their project coming out, so what do? They give you Virtual Fighter 5 Revo. They give you the release to all the consoles. I think Mortal Kombat should follow that same route. I think, WB has been taking a lot of L's with their games. They have been fumbling, and to be honest, if they want the community to go crazy, I think releasing an older Mortal Kombat game, bringing it back to life, I think that would be the wave. I think that would actually be the route, and I'm gonna end the video on this note, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. If Mortal Kombat decides to re-release an old school game in the 3D era, what would you guys want? Would you want a Deadly Alliance? Would you want a Deception? Or would you want Shaolin Monks? I think Armageddon is too much. I think it's too much to ask for. But let me know in the comments down below. Do you want to see any of those games return as a re-release? Kind of take a break from the new Mortal Kombat games, take a break from the Injustice, and just play some old school games in the new era. Sad that Mortal Kombat 1's coming to an end, but hey, at the end of the day, this is still a fun game. I can understand if people don't like it. You play what you like. Don't play games because everybody else is gonna like the game. No, play the game because you like the game. You know, it's the same thing with Tekken. Like, a lot of people hated the fact that Tekken 8 Season 2 is trash. You don't have to play Tekken 8. You can go back to 7. You can go back to 6. You can play 5 and 4. You can go back. Give those games reasons to come back to life. And, yeah, I'm out of here. Cue the music. Clutch Chaos. Freedem, guys. Mortal Kombat 1. White Flag Throne.